What's what do you mean your ID? Happy something. Talk about your Fortnite username. When you want Fortnite, Happy Plate 2084. You want me to add you? I'm not sure if I could add you. Yes. Oh. I might not talk. Okay. Um. Uh. I maybe I'll think about it. Okay. Do you need any sprites? Yo, what sprites you missing? Who the heck? You. Yo, chat, what sprites are you missing? I have a whole bunch of sprites on my main account. I dropped out. I thought there was a chest right here. I'm cooked. Oh, I just realized I'm infinite. I thought I was going to build. What are you watching? Give me this. Let's go. Dang it. I use a shockwave. I'm cooked now. Oh, that was loud. Yo, chat, I might be able to get uh, a supportive creator code, and I could tell you the code, and like battle for it. I'm kind of quiet right now. Wait a minute, can we get Catwoman? Yo, got chat. Should can I hire Catwoman? Yes. Come on, I'm fighting a boss. That's why I summoned you to kill this boss. Where's the boss? Oh. Avoid blades over here. Give me that. I just realized this. Yo, was that Striker? That Striker just swim all the way over here? Did she just drop this? I never knew that NPC just drops mythics. I don't know if she drops a mythic if she's killed. Well, Batmobile spawned too. Let's go. Sometimes it doesn't even spawn over here. It spawns somewhere else. Let's go. Never mind. Yes. The cash off of it. Okay, at least it's right here now. Oh, let's go! I barely made it. I'm just going in circle. Oh, it's 1:35. That's crazy. The people are watching my stream at 1:35. Good stash, I steal my teammates. Teammate. Ah, I stole the mythic. Get in here, not that one. We are the queen. Oh, 35 is here. So, I get out. Oh, let's go. Yeah. I'm gonna go to one of these. There's a lot of them. Closest one is this one, I think. Oh, I'm gonna get this. Let me strike it, that's fine. Where's my mark? Where's my mark? Oh, no, this one's good. It's actually closest. Oh, shoot. We've got Voyagers here. Oh, who started the fight? This kid started the fight. That's the last kid. And finish it. Yeah, he's hard. Where's the... How's a blue marker? Oh, it's over there. I'm sorry. You'll understand it. What if I give like a gold grin? Did my car just... Still okay. I'm sorry, teammate. And black cat and cat. I was about to say black cat. I was thinking of black panther. Marwell! Sprite chest. Come on, you. Or Sprite chest. Dang it. Where's this guy? I was just going. That was a gold Sprite chest. I was like, what? Yo, chat, why didn't you comment? Putting comments in my stream now. Deep cuts. I thought that said deep cuts. I was like, I thought Fortnite was family friendly. I'm a big deal. It says it on my necklace. Oh God. Dang it, I'm dead. Which I'm gonna be after this.
We making it fresh, son. We'll keep it classic. We can get it started like a matchstick. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all. We keep it reckless. I'm a big deal, got it hanging on my necklace. So you better watch out when we dropping in, or we gon' leave your Swiss cheese licking condiments like boom. We better clap these fools. Send them back to the bus while we grab their loot. And if you cover back up, we'll crack them too. And show you just what this pickle in the crack can do. Run, run, run 'em up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run, run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run, run, run 'em up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run, run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem.
This is so incredible. I think you'll remember that in a future generation. I really did. I thought this was big when I first saw it. This was something that someone made, and then I realized the video footage of it. Like, oh,
It's about to be a knockout, bringing out the big guns, pulling all the stops out. This ain't what you expected. Buckle up, it's about to get hectic. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move. Everybody, let's go now. Run, run, run 'em up. Start up a rocket.
Yo, chat. I'm just gonna be AFK.
Bring on the mayhem. Run, run 'em up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run, run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Hey, come and get your medicine. High octane mixed with adrenaline. Running them up when I'm with the brethren. Causing a commotion ever since they let us in. Like, it's about to get drastic. Bouncing off the walls like elastic. We're making it fresh, son, while keeping it classic. We came to get it started like a matchstick. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move. Everybody, let's go now. Run, run, run 'em up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run, run, run 'em up.
right now, not really. That's true. Okay, so we need that. Yeah. So what we're going to need, that would be nice. We can't say that. Dinosaurs, it's like, so that's that whole. We got kind of, they didn't build rockets. Well, of course, that was the let's just reset. Yeah, this is the hard reset button. Yeah. But I think that idea, that begs, I actually get begs fascinating. To me, first of all, we need infrastructure in space. Because if you think about building Amazon, you said, what would I need? Infrastructure, the service on the internet. And so they would provide it, and I could build it. So I want to do that to the next generation of entrepreneurs in space. I don't know what they're going to do in space, but I'd like to do that. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to do that because all the resources right now, there is the energy effect of that. And so the idea excites me, I want to devote the attention. And people say that's what it's like. But how ridiculous is it when you see that? When you see the fact that for the first time we have launch that really should be able to launch almost anything we want. Right. So the idea is to build space and then build space Mars and then beyond. That's a lot closer. Let's look at that and say, what is that, 100 and how many years from Wilbur or right? Okay, so that's 100 and what? 20-ish. Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. So you go from this goofy, like flexible sort of airplane looking thing that no one's gonna fly across the Atlantic in, to catching rockets with a giant like hand robot clamp. Yeah. That's insane. That happens over such a short period of time. Like who did that? That's 100 to go from that to Blue Origin is insanity in such a short period of time. So I think we're on 1906. Yeah, so we're on the verge of a revolution in many fields. My worry is that we're also seeing increasing political instability.
Yes.
And so I think I think most people would agree, a very dangerous moment.
Yes.
And the question is how to get to that future. And that future that you talked about, this wonderful future that we have, might be 10 or 20 years away, but it might be an eternity away if we get it wrong.
Right.
So I'm concerned that we don't know how to build a bridge to that future, that we should see in our lifetime, we should see this future beginning to unfold before us.
Yes.
How do we get there?
Well, we have to keep it out of the hands of the military-industrial complex. So we have to stop what's going on in the world, these insane conflicts. And if we don't, it will escalate. Iran gets a nuclear weapon, Israel uses it in Iran, Russia uses it in Ukraine. We have World War III, and I'm sure you're aware of what Einstein said about World War IV. That World War III, I don't know what weapons they'll use, but World War IV will be rocks and sticks.
Yeah.
And that we're not that far away from that. If you could imagine living in Hiroshima the day before the bomb, not having any idea that anything like that could ever even possibly happen, you know, just a regular person walking around, and all of a sudden everything is obliterated, and you realize like we're in a new era of destruction.
And what's interesting to me is I'm quite interested in Oppenheimer's writing post-war. And I've been interested in it. The BBC asked me to look at, there's a thing called the BBC Reith Lectures that are very famous in the UK. And every year someone gives these lectures after Lord Reith, who founded the BBC. And Oppenheimer did it in 1953, I think it was 53 or 54. And they were considered a failure because no one understood what he was talking about. But in there, he was concerned with the fact, of course, that he felt he delivered the means by which we would destroy ourselves. And he felt our technology, our scientific know-how exceeded our wisdom and our political skill, which is arguably true.
Yeah.
So he thought in the 50s, he couldn't see that we were destroying ourselves, but he thought about it a lot, feeling partly personally responsible for it. And he describes this, the deal that how it's any lessons that science teaches us, the exploration of nature teaches us that we could move into other fields, that we could transfer into politics, for example. And one of them is this picture that complex systems are complicated. So he's talking about, looking at quantum mechanics, for example, it gets complicated. You say, what is an electron? It's a particle. What is it taking on a straight wave? Language and mental. And so he said, can you explain this picture? It's a reason it is like that you have to develop this rather complex structure of the nature of quantum mechanics. He said something is with human science. It's science. And what it is a complex by the individual and they have their own science, they have their strongly held. So should when I think they'll be seen when it says that to be a person of substance and these are you take position, you have to have a morality, you have to have a policy in this right because you otherwise you're not going to be because it's the same on the course you have to recognise there's a society so you want to and then you might be strongly disagree with that and they might be wrong might be opposite so the challenge of politics is to avoid it's the balance that the democracy technology to avoid civil war. That's what it is. It's essentially you've got to understand that once you have your and should have your firmly held position. The society as a whole is a complex relationship of all these different little particles with their own anchors and their own positions. goal is to win an argument. It often feels like to convince enough people that your view is the right view for a democracy. That's the way it works. You argue your position, and you get 4 or 5 years to do your thing, and someone else can take over. But also, I think the thing we're missing at the moment is that more fundamental function of democracy, which is to avoid war.
Area secure.
Because if you can avoid war, especially with the power that we have now, you have the time to sort the rest out. But if we can't avoid war, we don't.
Some things you don't grow out of. 25 years in, still checking print lines. The shops don't open the way they used to. Packs don't drop the way they used to. But the pull still is. Pokemon, basketball, real cards, real prizes, Rips by Triumph. Same ritual, pocket size. Get your next card on Rips by Triumph.
And I think that Oppenheimer wrote that he knew that in the 50s. And it feels to me more that we're back full circle now. It feels to me we've almost forgotten. It seems to have forgotten that the primary function of democracy is not to ensure that your side wins. The primary function of democracy is to ensure there's a chance that the other side to win at some point in the future.
Yeah.
That's it really. That's what I would
No,
like to say.
it's completely accurate. And the problem with our version of democracy is that it's been captured by money. So there's interests beyond the will and the needs of the people. And those interests often are contrary to the will and the needs of the people. And as long as they can keep from it falling into complete total catastrophe and continue to profit off of the global chaos, they do. It's just there's too much money involved in politics and lobbyists and special interest groups and people influencing the media. They've distorted reality to the point where the general citizen doesn't really have a nuanced understanding of why these conflicts are taking place in the first place and why all the money is going over to these places and what is being done to mitigate any of these issues, and everyone feels helpless, and that helps them continue to do what they're doing and continue to reap profits. It's not democracy in the sense of how it was probably originally established or originally thought of. They never thought they'd have corporations. Corporations weren't even a thought. It wasn't even an idea. I never thought you'd have these, not just corporations, but corporations that are essentially in charge of an enormous percentage of the information that gets distributed online. And you see how organizations, government organizations, can conspire to limit the amount of information people have access to. And they can do it through very sneaky ways. Like, I don't know if you're aware of what they've done in Canada, but in Canada now, you are no longer able to share links to news stories on social media. And the way they snuck that in is by saying that these media corporations, whether it's Meta or Twitter, or X, whatever, they have a responsibility to pay the people that are making these stories. And so by this little sneaky little loophole, they've essentially put a stop on the free flow of information in Canada on social media. It's very, very disturbing and very dystopian. I have some friends that just went up there, and they're like, it's so confusing because people didn't know what was going to happen before it happened, and then it happened, and now everyone's kind of a little out of the loop up there because you can't even share a link, which doesn't make any sense because say if there's a New York Times article and I want to share it with you on Twitter, all I'm doing is driving more traffic to the New York Times website. It's not hurting that. fact it's promotion. It doesn't make any sense that it would somehow or another, because these companies aren't paying. So the idea is that X, because the profits that they get through advertising is all based on engagement, that there's engagement that sends people to this, and so they're profiting from it, and that profit should be shared with the media company, whether it's Los Angeles Times or whatever. That's crazy, because it's a two-way street. It's promotion. Like, so many more people are going to read a New York Times article if it becomes viral on Twitter. This is just makes sense.
What does seem to be generally true is that we haven't, as a society,
Just on Facebook. Is that true? I don't know. It's just on Facebook.
Meta's banned.
Well,
I'm just curious.
is it? See if it's the case. Well, Duncan was saying it's social media in general. It's just there.
I mean, what I think is generally true is that we haven't yet adapted to the internet.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
Just the internet.
yes.
We can tell you, as you said, in the great sweep of human history.
Right, and it's
It's only been used by people for 30 years.
Yeah, and it's a couple of decades when it's been influential.
Yeah.
So I think it feeds. It's another of those problems we face now. This what we talked about. This bridge to this tremendously bright future that we have. One of the pillars of that bridge that we need to strengthen is how to deal with this thing that we've only had for a couple of decades.
Right.
It's clear. I think we would. People again will be listening to this and they'll have different views on the way that things happen on the internet, regulation and so on. But I think what everyone would agree on is we haven't got it right yet.
Right.
We don't know how the way that it's influencing changing our democracies.
Yeah.
Let's just use it might be changing them for the better, it might be changing them for the worse, but the way it is changing them, I don't think is fully understood.
Well, not just that, it's being manipulated by governments. Like, governments have troll farms where they just attack certain sensitive political issues, and they make polarizing statements and crazy claims, and you go to that website or you go to that Twitter page and you realize, oh, this isn't a real person. This is just like some bot somewhere.
Yeah.
And a
Well, I
former
said that. I've got a lot
FBI
of
analyst, I'm sure you have a lot of bots. A former FBI analyst made an estimate of 80%. He thinks 80% of all the accounts, and this was around the time Elon was buying it, who knows what it's at now, 80% were fake. And this is one of the sticking points in the argument. Elon said it was when he was buying Twitter, they were telling him that it was 5%. 5% were fake. He said, well, show me your data. And the data they showed him was only a random 100 accounts. And he's like, this is not sufficient. I want to see like all of your data. And it became this big issue. And that's when he tried to get out of the deal. And then they took him to court. And then he wound up buying it.
Yeah.
But that was a big part of it. Like, how much of this is even real? Like, I see arguments online where people take these crazy inflammatory positions, like just insulting and attacking people that believe one thing or another thing. And I'm like, how much of this is like instigated by China or Russia or Iran or some other foreign country, and they're doing it through these troll farms, which we absolutely know exist.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the United States has them as well.
I don't know the answer. I mean, one answer. I mean, the way I do it, because obviously I'm on Twitter X, and so the way that I do it is you can tell. I think by someone's timeline usually, because my basic rule is that if you look at someone's timeline and it's all political,
Right.
I just ignore them. That's my basic, because a normal person's timeline. If you look at your timeline, for example, you look at mine. Some of it's just silly stuff.
Right.
Some of it's retweeting sports stuff or science stuff or whatever it is. I like aeroplanes, so a lot of my stuff is retweeting stuff about aeroplanes, right? Or whatever it is. So I think you can see a real person by seeing a breadth in the things that they retweet or whatever. And so I tend to ignore and mute at the minimum the people who are just single issue.
Yeah.
What you find, by the way, is that they're not a single issue. I can just about understand it if someone's single issue focused on a single thing, but they're just a generic kind of political position.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see an account, and all it does is promote divisive issues. You can see them a mile off, I think. So then it comes back to how do you deal with it? And my sense would be your sense. It's hard to legislate around conversation, isn't it? So what do you do? I suppose you could argue it's education ultimately. Ultimately, everything comes back to to education. I mean, a democracy requires an educated population.
Right.
To have
And
the tools, to have the mental tools to deal with this sort of new world
yes,
of information.
and I think that's something that we should probably be teaching to children is how to navigate social media and how to navigate influence and how to navigate other people's opinions of you and how to navigate like online bullying, how to avoid. There's so much anxiety that's attached to social media now too, and so many people engage in arguments with it like all day long. I think it's a primary source of mental illness for a lot of people, or at least an accelerant of mental illness.
Yeah.
And we don't have an education as to how to manage that and what that means to you. And the addiction that people have to social media and addiction people have to their smartphones in general is probably underappreciated.
Yeah.
Probably. It's probably a much more significant impact on overall health than we think because there's so much. First of all, we're not supposed to have access to 8 billion people's worth of bad news.
No.
That's not good. That's not a perspective enhancer. And we're essentially inundated with the things that'll scare the shit out of us the most, which is 8 billion people's problems. Whatever is happening in the world that's terrible, you're going to hear about it first. And that's going to be the things that trend the most. And it gives you this, like, very bizarre bias towards, like, what's actually happening in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it a big problem?
It's a big problem because it's new and we weren't prepared for it when it hit. It's like a flood happening. And you're like, okay, we got to figure out how to get all the water out of here. Like, this is nuts. This place is flooded. And we're essentially in the middle of the flood, this social media, online influence flood. And we haven't really shored up our basement yet. We don't really know how to protect ourselves from it.
But we can be optimistic.
Yes.
As we said, because we're both optimists, I think,
Yes,
ultimately.
yes, I'm very optimistic.
Because of the things we've talked about today.
Well, I also think because and I think you are also successful at navigating that world without it killing you. Like, I can navigate the world of social media, and I can, like as you said, you look at someone's timeline and see that, oh, this is crazy stuff. And you have your own, objective understanding of the world to a point where you can see where someone's being ridiculous. But some people just aren't that good at that. They're not educated in that. Maybe they haven't been around enough people that are critical thinkers, and they don't know how to approach things from. They just look at things like, what am I supposed to believe? Am I a good person if I believe this? Am I a good person if I argue against that? I'll do this. I'll do that. And these are not like well thought out actions.
I do understand though that you and I, we're in a good position personally.
Yes.
We have this confidence comes with some degree of success, and you can put things in perspective. And as you said, I often think actually, I see people who struggle when they become well known for the first time, for example. I mean, I remember when I became quite late in life, became well known as a public figure. Because I did a series on the BBC in 2009 or 2010 called Wonders of the Solar System, and suddenly I was well known. But I found it very difficult to navigate. And fortunately, I had the support structures and people around me, and I could navigate it. And you come to terms with it, and you learn how to do it. But it's a process, isn't it? So I think it's the same. One of the problems I think with social media is you can become very well known very quickly.
Yes.
Often there's something that you kind of said in a clumsy way. Sometimes you can.
Right.
And I think it's probably always impossible to navigate that as just a person who just suddenly is exposed to that glare of publicity and becomes a public figure.
Yeah.
Sometimes a hate figure.
Yes.
Overnight.
Well, it seems particularly difficult for people that didn't ever anticipate it, like the Jordan Petersons of the world, like people that became quite prominent, like in their late 40s.
He's an academic. I mean, I mean, that's what I was doing. I was an academic and then had success on television.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in the controversial area. It was about planets and solar system and astronomy.
Right.
So, but even then, I found it difficult.
It's a very bizarre drug. We're saying that it's a very bizarre
Bring on the mayhem. Bring on the mayhem. It's about to be a knockout. Bringing out the big gun, pulling all the stops out. This ain't what you expected. Buckle up, it's about to get hectic. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. What to the my necklace. So you better watch out when we dropping in, or we gon' leave your Swiss cheese licking condiments like boom. We better clap these fools. Send them back to the bus while we crack their loot. And if you cover back up, we'll crack them too and show you just what this pickle in the crack can do. Run, run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem.
And make your sales. 30 extra cash, make that simple. One pair down, just 5 more to go. Download Vinted and start selling today.
It's about to be a knockout, bringing out the big guns, pulling all the stops out. This ain't what you expected. Buckle up, it's about to get hectic. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move. Everybody, let's go now. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Hey, come and get your medicine. High octane mixed with adrenaline. Running them up when I'm with the brethren. Causing a commotion ever since they let us in. Like, it's about to get drastic. Bouncing off the walls like elastic. We making it fresh, son. We're keeping it classic. We came to get it started like a matchstick. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move. Everybody, let's go now. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. We keep it reckless. I'm a big deal, got it hanging on my necklace. So you better watch out when we dropping in, or we gon' leave your Swiss cheese licking condiments like boom. We better clap these fools. Send them back to the bus while we crack their loot. And if you cover back up, we'll crack them too and show you just what this pickle in the crack can do. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem.
I mean, certainly, there's the best possible, but it's also, it's just like this, again, it's attached to a weird religious thing. They believe in little information, somehow, that's somehow or another that's been attached to the government. That's one of the problems with,
Bring on the mayhem. Bring on the mayhem. It's about to be a knockout, bringing out the big guns, pulling all the stops out. This ain't what you expected. Buckle up, it's about to get hectic. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move. Everybody, let's go now. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Hey, come and get your medicine. High octane mixed with adrenaline. Running them up when I'm with the brethren. Causing a commotion ever since they let us in. Like, it's about to get drastic. Bouncing off the walls like elastic. We making it fresh and we're keeping it classic. We came to get it started like a matchstick. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move. Everybody, let's go now. Run 'em up. Start up a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem.
do, but again, I really think it has something to do with religious writings. And not just that, but erroneous interpretations of religious writings. You're dealing with that. It's wrong.
Bring on the mayhem. Bring on the mayhem. It's about to be a knockout. Bringing out the big guns, pulling all the stops out. This ain't what you expected. Buckle up, it's about to get hectic. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. Now move, you move, everybody, let's go now. Run, them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Hey, come and get your medicine. High octane mixed with adrenaline. Running them up when I'm with the brethren. Causing a commotion ever since they let us in. Like, it's about to get drastic. Bouncing off the walls like elastic. We're making it fresh, son. We're keeping it classic. We came to get it started like a matchstick. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. Now move, you move, everybody, let's go now. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. We keep it reckless. I'm a big deal, got it hanging on my necklace. So you better watch out when we dropping in, or we gon' leave your Swiss cheese licking condiments like boom. We better clap these fools. Send it back to the bus while we crack their loot. And if you cover back up, we'll crack a two and show you just what this pickle in the crack can do. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem.
Yeah, wait, so that story about got in the taxi at the start, and he's asking him all these questions about Atlantis or whatever it is. This guy,
Bring on the mayhem. Bring on the mayhem. It's about to be a knockout. Bringing out the big guns, pulling all the stops out. This ain't what you expected. Buckle up, it's about to get hectic. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. And I move, you move, everybody, let's go now. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Hey, come and get your medicine. High octane mixed with adrenaline. Running them up when I'm with the brethren. Causing a commotion ever since they let us in. Like, it's about to get drastic. Bouncing off the walls like elastic. We're making it fresh, son. We're keeping it classic. We came to get it started like a matchstick. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. Now move, you move, everybody, let's go now. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. We keep it reckless. I'm a big deal, got it hanging on my necklace. So you better watch out when we dropping in, or we gon' leave your Swiss cheese licking condiments like boom. We better clap these fools. Send it back to the bus while we crack their loot. And if you cover back up, we'll crack a two and show you just what this pickle in the crack can do. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run them up. Start off a ruckus, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem.
Man, collecting meat like this feels so good.
Bring on the mayhem. Yeah. Seriosa. Bring on the mayhem. It's about to be a knockout. Bringing out the big guns, pulling all the stops out. This ain't what you expected. Buckle up, it's about to get hectic. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. Now move, you move. Everybody, let's go now. Run, run them up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run, run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run, run them up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run, run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Hey, come and get your medicine. High octane mixed with adrenaline. Running them up when I'm with the brethren. Causing a commotion ever since they let us in. Like, it's about to get drastic. Bouncing off the walls like elastic. We making it fresh, son, while keeping it classic. We came to get it started like a matchstick. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move. Everybody, let's go now. Run, run them up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run, run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run, run them up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. We keep it reckless. I'm a big deal, got it hanging on my necklace. So you better watch out when we dropping in, or we gon' leave your Swiss cheese licking condiments like boom. We better clap these fools. Send it back to the bus while we crack the loot. And if you cover back up, we'll crack the two. And should adjust what this pickle in the crack can do. Run, run them up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run, run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run, run them up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run, run them up. Now bring on the mayhem.
Yeah, so nature is brutal. And most of the time, you want some really great theory, and you're really sure about it, you do the experiment and you're just wrong. And so you get so used to it that you come to enjoy it because you're learning. But it's a process. That's why science is so cool, very simple. It's not with intention, it's not interested about that, but it's just that
Bring on the mayhem. It's about to be a knockout. Bringing out the big guns, pulling all the stops out. This ain't what you expected. Buckle up, it's about to get hectic. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. And I move, you move. Everybody, let's go now. Run, run them up. Start up a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run them up. medicine. High octane mixed with adrenaline. Running them up when I'm with the brethren. Causing a commotion ever since they let us in. Like, it's about to get drastic. Bouncing off the walls like elastic. We making it fresh, son, while keeping it classic. We came to get it started like a matchstick. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move. Everybody, let's go. Now run, run 'em up. Start off a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run 'em up. Start off a rocket, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. We keep it reckless. I'm a big deal, got it hanging on my necklace. So you better watch out when we dropping in, or we gon' leave your Swiss cheese licking condiments. Like boom, we better clap these fools. Send them back to the bus while we grab their loot. And if you cover back up, we'll crack a two and show you just what this pickle in the crack can do. Run 'em up. Start off our rockets, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run 'em up. Start off our rockets, y'all, let's turn it up. Run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem.
That's cool.
Yo, I came in to act up, sucker. Check my check. Bring on the mayhem. Yeah, Seriosa. Bring on the mayhem. Yo, it's about to be a knockout. Bringing out the big guns, pulling on the
Chat, we got
This ain't what
to turn the stream off.
it's about to get hectic.